YouTube? Welcome back to UniX TCG, and today we are actually going over some Dragon Ball Super card game Masters content. That's right. You haven't seen it on the channel in a while, but it is here. We got some boys from G3 up in Canada, some of my favorite people to chill with when it comes to this game, and we've got some top cut videos, you know what I mean? We did very well this Nationals, and today is going to showcase a top 16 deck profile from a homie, so get excited. Just gonna let you guys know that I'm setting a like goal for this video at 100. Let's see if we can smash that so this video trends. And if you'd like to help out the channel, all it takes is a like on this video, comment, let me know what you think of the deck. And if you like Dragon Ball in general, go visit UniX DB to check out my Dragon Ball content, just on everything else outside the card game. And then you can also go to G3's website to check out their deals and their sales for the best store in Canada. I've even got a code for them, check it in the description. So with that being said, let's roll into the profile. All right, so this, as you guys have already seen from the title and what I said previously in the intro, is the first Dragon Ball Super Masters video I've had on this channel in a while. But when the homies do it big, it is just a good thing to give them their flowers. So here we have a special guest with a special accomplishment coming right off the heels of Battle Hour, Dragon Ball Super Nationals and Worlds. I'd like him to introduce himself and let us know a little bit about how he felt about this event, the deck he chose to play and why, and all the little juicy bits. So the stage is yours, sir.
Appreciate it, boss. What's going on? My name's Max. I'm with a G3 and TCG medals. I went to LA for the Battle Hour for Dragon Ball Super main event. I ended up playing Gohan. My final standing was 9th place. I was able to make top 16. Unfortunately, lost my first game against Cooler Mill. Super tough matchup, but really good player, Patrick. He won the whole thing, so props to him and his preparation and everyone he trained with. But it was a good event. I enjoyed it, and everything was pretty smooth for a Dragon Ball event for sure. And there was all the rounds were back to back, quick. There was no waiting, there was no nothing, there's no interruptions, and we got right to it. And I'm really happy for my teammates, Raymond and Klinger and everyone else who showed up as well and showed out. And as a team, we did really well and showed that we got some really good players.
Excellent. 9th place is nothing to scoff at in Swiss. Just sounds like an excellent run. What had you choosing Gohanks, Son Gohan, and Trunks going to this event, knowing that most of the people were going to auto lock into U7 or a direct counter to it?
I just know the amount of pressure that it puts on and the number of cards you can draw, because there hasn't really been a red deck that allows you to draw as much as this deck does. Like, most of the time I had 12 to 14 cards in hand, which is ridiculous. Even when I'm on the back foot, I usually have about 12 cards in hand, so I'm usually never falling that far behind. There's always an opportunity to win. Most of my games, truth be told, I ended by turn 4. It was UI, it was more than likely going to be turn 5. It is what it is. It's a hard deck to play against, but when I play against UI, Gohanks kind of makes the game more 50-50 and then becomes a skill-based matchup, because you put them on having the floodgate or the counter to stop you from what you want to do and trying to kill them, because the onus is on them. In Dragon Ball, I've always said, if you're applying pressure, 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to be winning, because it forces them to be able to respond.
Bet. And I guess I can't get too bad because this is technically a Gohan deck. But you were like, no red deck really draws enough cards, and as a eternal U7 Gohan stan, I'm like, you know what? But no, I think I can. This is part of the Gohan gang for sure. So yeah, we're happy to see it. Happy to see it. Some Gohan representation in the top cut. Yeah, I think if you are down for it, or unless you want to add any other points, we can go through your deck list.
No, we can get right to it, big dog.
All right.
So, my leader, Son Gohan and Trunks, future Gohan and Trunks actually. The front side is pretty simple. It's top tech 5, add any red say into your hand, which is kind of broken because you can search your SCR for this, which I did a couple of times. Turn 1, grab my SCR, and they were just dead on turn 4. And then once you awaken, when you have the Z extra card out, your backside leader says whenever you activate main, you can tuck one of your 1-drop Trunks in the deck or any red Saiyan, draw 2 cards, which is pretty dope because it's such a good engine, because you get to use those Trunks later on down the road for combo power. Outside of that, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just a 15k. You do have a Z leader that you don't go into that often. I did once during this tournament, which was pretty cool, and this is probably never going to happen again, so I'll relish the moment. But either way, that is the leader. So I played 3 Bulmas. I wish I had space for a fourth, but I didn't really have any way to fit it in here. But this is a super combo on a stick or a threat on the stick, because you discard it, you search the top 5 for any Red Saiyan 4 or less, or any Earthling 4 or less. So basically, this effectively takes 3 cards out of your deck. So I'm playing a 50-card deck instead of 53 cards. So I want to stay low to the ground and keep the numbers low, obviously, because I'm an aggro deck. So I always see my threats.
Consistency. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's perfect. Yeah. And I played 2 of the 1-drop Gokus. Because if I don't see these, I want to see these, especially if I'm going first. Because you want to have a turn 1 play. These are a top check 5 Saiyan. So it's kind of silly that you can swing lead top check 5 and then play a 1-drop top check 5 on turn 2 if you want to. Normally I want to set up my Z extra, but that is a line. But if I'm going first, I want this so I can top check because I can't swing my leader. But also, the other effect of this card is an auto limit 1. If you combo this, you can drop a Red Saiyan from your West City extra card and draw a new card. So you can turn the Saiyans you can't combo into a fresh card whenever you're trying to go for game or just need to see some other juice. I played 1 Pilaf in the main because whenever I play against A21, the only way I'm really losing the game is if they ever get to establish the 8-drop and freely restand their energy. Outside of that, there's probably no losing, because 9 times out of 10, you just don't lose to blue with this deck. It kind of just runs them over. Too much pressure.
True.
We played 4 Raditz, super combo, and then 1 Royal Evolution, my apologies. I consider this a super combo, basically. But I chose 4 Raditz, and I saw some people running the Broly super combo to draw 1, whatever, when you're at a high life total. But for the most part, I prefer this because you just want to bottom deck all your extra cards whenever you're trying to push for game. And if on turn 3 at 6 life, and you're at 2, I'm probably going to win anyway, so I probably don't need the super combo to begin with. And you also draw so much, you have so much combo power, it doesn't matter. And I'd rather have these for the matchups where I'm probably not favored.
The dig is
Royal Evolution, yeah, it's super huge. The Royal Evolution was for the UI matchup specifically, because you needed it to kill their leaders through Flying Nimbus if it happens. And I also put it in against the cooler matchup as well. I kept it in there so I could swing with my leader, he negated, and then I was able to restand and potentially go into my Z leads for double strike to win a game off of him. And the 1-drops, which is super important to the deck, I played 4 Trunks Frustration. Trunks Frustration, this one, when you combo it from under the West City Z extra, it gives a battle card or a unison minus 5k for the turn. It's not just for the battles, for the turn, which does matter.
Just gotta say, I like with the 1 Royal Evolution, gotta love Dragon Ball Super Masters in the sense that you can put a singleton in your deck and just know I am going to see this when I need to in the matchups that it's important.
I saw this card every single game. It wasn't even like a concern. You just draw so much with this deck. But then we have the Trunks Powerful Sentiment. This is the one that when you combo it either from under the West City or from your hand, you drop a Z from your Z deck. You drop a Z from your Z energy. My apologies. Then you can activate battle for free, which I forgot to mention on this side of the leader. The once per turn, you place 1 Z energy from your Z energy pile, and then you can go ahead and reduce cost for all these abilities that you have on your 1-drops and your other Gohans that are threats in the deck in order to use their skills for free. And when you use this one, you double strike them, and then for this one, same effect. For the drop of a Z, and then you can reduce its cost, is critical. So you basically have double strike critical on a stick at any point in the game. That's why for this deck, you have to negate every single swing, or else you're probably going to be facing down double strike crit every time. And I played 1 Battle Preparation in the main deck for blue, because it gives your battle card barrier protection against Specialist Strength or the Gohan rare, just in case when you're going for game. You don't want to just auto lose to that, or dump and just watch yourself get blown out because they have double Senzu being or triple Senzu, and then they play Measurelith or Gohan and get rid of it.
I'm loving the Trunks photo shoot on the screen right now. Like, it's like he put on the same outfit and they were just like, work the camera. And then he just proceeded to make like 9 poses.
And then for the UI matchup, you have to run this card. It's 2 energy, yes, but you have to get rid of Sin or else you just can't win the game. Sin is a problem, so you have to have these or else you just lose. I know some people play Black Smoke, but I just prefer this just because it's red and it's chargeable. And it also comes up sometimes in other matchups if I just need to clear the board. Because it is cost 3, you can play, clear anything 20 power or less on the battlefield, So even in like other aggressive matchups, you can keep this in because it's chargeable, combo power, and it's a board wipe.
And you have the best art. Is that like anniversary? I'm trying to remember what box that came out of.
This was draft box.
There.
There was a collector's, I believe.
Yeah, it's just that's the best Kaioken. Like, oh my gosh,
it is so beautiful. I'm a fan. And then 2 Broly. This card's broken. We all know it. It's 1 energy, 25k critical redraw. It's like, what else? What more do you want from a card? It applies so much pressure in the UI matchup and every matchup actually, because no one's gonna combo out a 25 crit on turn 2, and if they do, then they're just losing cards, and you're like, cool, keep it up.
It did what it was supposed to do. You either lose cards off your life or you lose cards from your hand. It's hand destruction.
Exactly. It's so massive. And I chose to play 2 babies. I talked to a buddy about this. I know a lot of people playing 3 babies and then like 3 to 2 Videls, but I wanted to, again, keep the deck lean to 53 or the 50 with the Bulmas technically, because we want consistency. And a lot of the time you draw so much with this deck, you're always going to see at least 1 copy of this. Most games when I needed it, I always saw the 2 copies. They killed one, I played another one. And I didn't really care for the Videl, because whenever I play this kind of style of deck, I want everything I play in the deck to be a threat. I don't want to play something that doesn't swing. That's why I chose not to play something like Mai. I know a lot of people main deck Mai because it's good against blue, but you're already favoriting it. So I'm like, why? If I can't swing with it, I don't want it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Then I played the most broken card in this deck. Well, maybe second. I'm not sure. It's close. The 4-drop Gohan. This dude here costs 1 energy on either turn 2 or 3. You can play it for 1 energy on turn 2 and have a 20k swing, but it also redraws on play. But on turn 3, when you play it, you draw a card. You can drop a Z or pay 1 energy to restand it after it swings to -20 a battle card, and it gains double strike. So it's pseudo dual attack, but the second swing is double strike. So that's just a massive threat, and it's always just threatening to push all that damage that you want to do on turn 3. Because you can either save your Awaken for 3 or use it on 2 to apply a lot of pressure. I'll usually Awaken on 2 if I see the Broly. That way I can get like 3 swings in and they're all critical with the other 1-drop Trunks. But this card is just always huge. It's just never bad. The fact you can play it on turn 2 is huge as well.
Art is amazing.
That's what I'm saying. I love every art in this deck, bro.
I think it's... I am a notorious Gohan stan, but like that art do be going crazy.
And then the other 4-drop Gohan you play is a resisting evil Gohan. This one you -20 when you drop a Z or pay 1 energy, and then you draw a card. It's just removal on a stick, basically. I only play 2 copies of the dual attacker. You drop a Z, you restand it, draw a card, and then you swing again. I only play 2 copies. I know some people play more, but this is just an early game card, and I don't want to see too many of this because at a certain point it's just not that good anymore, because all your other threats are just infinitely better. And then the other broken card in the deck is the 8-drop Trunks, which you can play from hand and you can play from under the West City. It is a 25k Stealth Awakener basically on turn 4 that always ends the game. Because it has dual attack on it, where you can drop 2 Z energy to restand it and swing for a 3rd time. But when you restand, you draw a card and -35k something, ignoring barrier. Which is huge, because red doesn't have a lot of cards that ignore barrier, which matters.
Yeah, like generally that's a green thing for removal.
Yeah, it's massive. But on top of that, the best part is it is technically a 30k base, because when you swing with it, you get the combo from your drop, one of your 1-drop Trunks, to make it 30k, and you can activate their battle skills whenever.
Big nasty.
If you choose to. And you also get to take a life whenever you swing with it. So if you're stuck at 6, which a lot of my opponents try to do to me, I just play the H up on 4, and like they kind of hope you don't have it, or they have to have time magic or something if they're yellow. And you swing, and then you go down to 4 life, and then you just cook them because now all your super combos are alive that have been just sitting in your hand. And for the Overrealm, we played the Heated Fighting Spirit. It's just one of the best ones. I want something big and something for removal for one of their blockers if they had it. And then the obvious choice for the SCR for the other Overrealm was the Vegito. It's just the most broken thing possible. I did end a few games with this because I would always count. Because one of the problems, I killed one of my UI opponents with this. Because one of the problems with that deck is that you have to Z-charge all your U7 names. So it's super hard to get Sparking early. So they can't Sparking time magic negate this swing if they don't have the 5 cards. So if I look at their drop and they only have 4 cards and they're tapped out or they only have 1 energy up, I'm like, I'm just gonna play this and see if you have it. And if they don't, then they're just dead. That's also super important because it gives you leader plus 10k for your Royal Evolution swing, or it's just a bridge for the next turn because most players aren't swinging through a 25k leader. There's just no way. They're just losing value at that point. So I did that to one of my opponents where I played this, and then I passed turn basically after he negated the swing. It was a UI player, and then he tried to kill me. I explosive danced Imposing Presence, and it just kept lowering the battle power of their 6-drop 30k. Well, it's 40 at that time because of the extra they played, and he just couldn't kill me. And then he passed back, and I just cooked him after that.
I love that card. I am a little sad that we are in a day and age where like tap 4 for Vegeta is just not the move anymore. How powerful that card was, but like, no, I do like it.
Yeah, dude. If it's free, it's for me. If not,
yeah.
I can't do it.
No, yeah, it's the Frank Castle. It's the Frank Castle meme. Like it's like me teaching people how to play Masters in 40 years. It was the Gorilla tap 4. No. Play for free. No way. And I'm like, dog.
Exactly. Hey, we're red, bro. We got to be energy efficient here. And then one of the arguably best cards that have been printed for red, Explosive Dance. I think we all know what this does. And just what red was waiting for. Just a floodgate that couldn't be countered as easily and not a battle card. But this forces your opponent to drop the energy equal to the power of the battle card they're swinging with. So sometimes it's just a red Hatchiac, which is actually ridiculous. I'll play this, and then opponent will be like, alright, I guess I'll pass. Especially against decks like Green Gohan, where they're just like, I can't swing through this. It's just bad for them. Let me play 2 testing. Card's still really good. And 1 Teamwork of Universe 7. I always have to main deck 1 copy because of the UI matchup, because they have the cooler counter. If they get to turn 4 and they haven't taken that much damage, they just drop 6-drop with 3 energy open and swing at me. For some reason, I'm at 2. I have to stop the leader swing because of bursting race, of course. True. And then 1 Hidden Ambitions. I saw this every game. The 1-ofs never fail. I actually got to play against Anthony Hayne in one of my rounds, and he tapped out for a D-Magic. Well, he tapped out, then he took a life for D-Magic, went to 1, and I did the classic Hidden Ambition dump on my swing. Because he went down to a life, and I'm like, alright, dude, I guess you're just dead, because you're blue. Everything's 1-cost combo. And then we played Frieza's Death Ball. I love this card. I don't know what to say. It's completely broken. I don't know why people weren't playing before. But you get to go so tall in this deck. This card does everything you want and more. It's a basically plus 25k for 1 energy combo. And then when you have Double Strike Critical, and you tap 1 for this, and then you combo 2 cards and you're at 50k off rip, your opponent's like, I guess I have to take it, and you didn't really lose anything.
Frieza's Death Ball is good, and it's just like a huge swing in power-based momentum.
Oh, it's huge. It's definitely huge in the UI matchup as well, because then their free combo chain isn't as free anymore. But that is the main deck. We'll move over to side real quick. Nothing too crazy. It is 3 Boars for Green Gohan. If you see 1 or 2, you just win that matchup, but you win this matchup anyway with Gohan. 2 Koi, can't leave home without it. It's probably the best sideboard card in the current meta. 2 Cells, they're 25k base, so it's already always good against UI. Because if you don't get to 25 at least, then they just combo out of it for free, more or less. And then I had an extra Kaioken in there for the UI matchup. Then we played 1 more Battle Prep for the blue matchup. Another Pilaf for 21. 2 Imposing Presence for aggro and UI as well for their 6-drop. Another Testing, it's always good. And then the 2 Gallic Cannon. This card in particular is super good. I put it in against a lot of matchups during the day. It's broken against 21 because it stops their 2-drop Z battle card play, where they get to ramp, and if you play this, kill it so they can't Z-stack, it forces them to play a fair game, and then they can no longer just get ahead with their ramp effects. And then they don't have their blocker either, which matters a lot. I also put this in against UI as well, because it kills off their Deadly Defender battle cards, because they're all 15Ks. So they just play it, you kill it, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm free to swing in. And also, it forces them to make a decision on whether or not they want to swing with their leader, or if they want to tap it to draw a card, because then they're losing value at that point as well. And then I put it against the mirror match as well. I didn't really get to use it in that one too much because he was smart. It was the cost, and he took out his 15Ks more or less for that matchup. And I'm like, that was a good read. But, you know, if you know, you know.
Indeed. And I have to, like, respect that, like, you went out. You went out for your rarities.
Yeah, dude. We try. Couldn't find another level 2 testing, though, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. No one wants to give them up. But for the Z deck, We played the 2 rush attacks. Had to put the new in. You know what I'm saying? And then we put in 1 defender of life for time rules if I need to burn them or if I think I can do it. Yeah, I mean, you got to keep that stuff in mind, man. You got to cover all angles. And then you got 1 surmounting, and then I played 2 West City just in case because I think the Z stack sucks. There is a time machine card that you can Z stack to free play the 8-drop Trunks, but then you're locked into playing 8-drop Trunks or Trunks cards specifically for the rest of the game. And
wait,
I'm like, for the rest of sorry, not the game, the turn.
Okay, I was like, hold on.
Even then, I'm like, I'm not playing the Trunks SCR because it's not very good. So I'm like, why would I do that to myself when I have so many other plays I could be doing? And then you have to play a second one, I think, in my opinion anyway, just in case against green you get the 5, they play the 5-drop Majin Buu. It actually kills off the Z extra. And that's your draw engine. Then we have the Z leader. The Z leader you don't go into as much as you would think, as good as it is. Because once you go into this, you can't use West City to draw 2 off your leader effect, which is very unfortunate. But it is a base 20k natural double striker, so you can Royal Evolution after your original leader swing, restand, go into your Z leader, and have a double strike swing. But when you combo a card, you get the minus 5k one of your opponent's battle card, and then draw a card on top of that. You also get the benefit of still doing the drop a Z and reduce cost for skills effect as well.
Very, very swaggy.
Big fan, big fan. I did get to do it once during the tournament, and I hopefully I get to do it again someday. And then I just have my Gundams for my tokens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those arts are actually breathtaking. Just cross-pollinate a little bit. I think my favorites from those, and it's probably because I actually just like love the series the most. Unicorn is devastating. Exia
Beautiful.
is very, very clean. While the Sinanju is beautiful. And while I have my gripes with Gundam Wing, I think they did a very good job with Wing Zero here.
I agree, bro. I agree. I figured I'd use these just because they're beautiful and it's also a Bandai game, so they can't get mad at me if I'm on stream or something. Can't pull out like a Yu-Gi-Oh token, you know?
The funniest thing is they did you use them on stream, the Gundams?
No.
Okay, because I was about to say I know just from a staff perspective when I was working, there was a very clear directive of when you're at Battle Hour, it is Dragon Ball time. And when you're at Card Fest, it is everything but Dragon Ball time. Do not mix the two. Do not reference them on stage. Like, that was a huge thing. So I think if you flipped over Battle Spirits like mid, they might have just looked at you like, you might want to, tuck those back under, my guy, my boy. Like, it might have just happened. But no, that was heat. So would you like to go into your tournament run and kind of brief maybe 10, 5? Well, I mean, 5 is not long enough. Just kind of maybe a 10-minute-ish kind of deal right here if you want to talk about your tournament run real quick.
Oh, yeah, dude. I had a round 1 bye, which was super nice because then you just got to chill out for a little bit. But then after that, I can't even go over the blue matches because they ended up so quickly. This deck just hoses blue every time. I don't know why. They just can't handle it. It's very odd. But I played 2 green Gohans. I played Soul Striker. I played a 7-coup deck. And I played against a Black Zamasu deck round 1, actually, which was kind of cute to see, I'm not going to lie. The mirror match, Gohanks versus Gohanks, was against Robert the Koff. That one was unfortunate. I couldn't really play the game because I didn't see any of my 1-drop Trunks until like turn 3 or 4. And he knew it. He saw his SCR turn 1 off the top check. He got a Raditz super combo off of his Bulma, played Baby for free on turn 3, and I'm like, the game's over, bro. There's nothing we can do about it. But luckily, Robert DeCobb is a good player, and he went undefeated in Swiss. So I'm like, perfect. If I was gonna lose anybody, thank God it was him.
Right, for real. When you have to take an L, for the love of God, please be a good tiebreaker. Like, one of the worst things ever is when you lose to somebody and they proceed to like slide the entire tournament down the gutter, and you're just like, no.
It's like, please don't do this to me. But I think the hardest matchup that I played was against UI on turn 2 against this guy Zach from Hermit Style. He's a very good player.
Oh, wait, Zach Egner.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
so,
Zach Egner. He's a very good player.
Yes. Funny thing. While he may have moved a little further north, he's my local buddy. Like we used to live no more than 20 minutes away from each other. So like, since I guess Celebrations time, if any viewers remember that time in, I think, North Carolina, the Celebrations event. since around that time. Like, that homie has been one of my closer friends playing this game, and he is a very, very sharp and technical player. So yeah, that's pretty tight. It's a little small world shout out.
Yeah, dude, I could see that he knew the UI deck inside and out for the most part, or for everything actually, and it was just smooth fucking plays and flawless transitions to whenever he wanted to combo or wanted to set something up. And I honestly, if he saw Sin like a turn early or something, I probably would have lost that game. But it is what it is. That's the one player that I got to actually use my Z leader against, because I'm like, he's at 2, I got to do this, and keep it up before he untaps and tries to kill me. But that was one game I felt pressure in, and I'm like, dang, he's got it, bro.
I hear it.
Yeah, and then the cooler player in top 16 who actually won the whole thing that I played against, super good player, really nice guy from what I could tell from our conversation, and he told me he was basically playing cooler since set 9 and hasn't touched another deck, and I'm like, it shows, bro. It definitely does. He was just clean transitions again with what he wanted to do, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Like, I'll go over real quick, but when I played Baby the first time on Unison, he played the Android 13, neg 15, it swung at it, and then he swung lead into it, and activated Battle to play the Son Gohan Red Rare to neg 20 to take off another marker, or neg 10 or 20 take off another marker, and then he comboed off the Son Gohan Rare, tapped 1 to remove another marker, and then I'm like, well, I guess it's dying, and then he set up his Z Extra for 10 times Kamehameha and just didn't lose any value. I'm like, that was pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, cool, bro.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, dude just drew 2 cards and set up a Z Extra and has a battle card on field. I'm like, all right, that was smart. Nothing I can do about that.
Powerful. I mean, hey, like that sounded like the definition of streamlined efficiency right there.
Exactly. And then I know, my buddy Brain won't go over it, but he did some crazy stuff against him too. But overall, it was a really good tournament. Had a lot of fun, met some cool people, and got to meet up with some people I don't get to see very often. So this is like our one-time year to hang out and kick it, and we spent a lot of time getting ready for this. Just nights hopping on Discord and talking stuff out. Same with the team. So, I appreciate everything that they do for me and all the people that support me with this game.
Yeah, that's litty. When it comes to Gen Con, I'm eyeing that more and more, and I know that the boys from G3 should be coming down to Gen Con as well. So I don't know, man. I was like, this kind of get me hyped. I'm looking at all this Gohan, all this like redness, and I'm just like, this is right up my alley. But I'm also looking at the fact that there's probably gonna be like 3 different games I could be playing at Gen Con.
Yeah, true,
so like,
true.
That's gonna be a rough. But no. This is pretty heat. But yeah. Did you want to give any other shout outs? I mean, I do have to preempt a little bit while we are talking about G3. G3 is the best store you are going to find for your TCG needs in Canada. Most of if it's a Bandai game, they generally sell it. They even sell things that aren't necessarily Bandai games. But go ahead and go into the description, check out the link. I do have a code for G3, so you can actually use that to get some percentages off your stuff. And yeah, support the team that is bringing you these tops, these deck profiles. It helps all around, and they're just generally good people. I say there, but like, we are generally good people. I'm just not in Canada, so I'm trying to hit that cross-border support right here. But yeah, do you have anybody to shout out?
Again, I just want to shout out G3 again, especially if I can name some people. Biriar, Miguel Petrella, if anyone knows about him, and Faisal. They were always on every chance they got in order to test, and it really helped to be able to see how they wanted to navigate through certain games. Also, I want to shout out my locals, especially my buddy Danny Wynn. Different Danny, not the Bumble one. This is the this is the aggro one that played Gogeta Zeno at DBS Fest. Super good player, and he sat down with me, went over our decisions, my decisions and whatnot through the deck, and he was just like, "You want to be him? I got you." I'm like, "Fair enough." We got to work on that, and then also Raymond Daniel for getting 20th, super big jump from last year because he actually scrubbed out last year, and this year he came in 20th, and he did the thing. So those are the people that I prepped with. My buddy Bobby, unfortunately he couldn't come, but he was always online, willing to help us test and get ready, and he was following us the whole entire day, asking for update. I got to know how the boys doing, and you can't replace friends like that. I know Legend said it, and it's kind of cheesy like he said, but it's the friends along the way, right? So It is what it is.
Indeed. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming over. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said before, let's see if we can get this up to 100 likes. You guys are always talking about how Masters is dying, but this Nationals was packed. There was a lot of energy in the room, and I know there's a lot of people that still love this game. That was never a doubt. You guys just kind of doomsaying every now and then. So let's kick this up to 100 likes. Spread this out. This deck is sick, and you gotta at least pay homage to like the fact that this guy just has a max rarity deck. Like, it just looks gorgeous. And once again, congratulations on your placement. You really killed it out there, and thanks for being on the channel, man.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys, we're gonna move over into the Patreon shout out just for the people that do support the channel, and then we'll move into the credits. Oh, wait, bring that up. You gotta put it up towards the camera. Flex on them a little bit.
There it is.
Clean. All right, that's a good note. Speaking of max rarity, pretty much, that's a good note to leave on. See you guys later. All right, we are back at the Patreon shout out once again. Thank you for everybody that goes through the extra mile. It really means a lot. You guys honestly don't know how much you guys do for me in times like this where I'm sick and I'm trying to struggle to do content, but I know, you know, there's a little extra oomph coming in from you guys. On the Patreon, we're going to be doing lots of articles. They're a little too long to put in video format for both One Piece card game as well as Dragon Ball Super Fusion World, and maybe even Masters one day. Who knows? Gotta see. But on top of that, we'll be doing giveaways so we can get content or product, and the bigger and bigger the channel gets, the easier it is for me to get that product and be able to give it away. So yeah, thank you guys. Next, we're gonna give a shout out to the Realm of Xers, the people that go the extra mile, the Brars, the Bryce R's, the Big Daddy Flapjacks. I want to thank you guys for doing the most and helping me and supporting me. And I will see you guys in the next video or article later.